So what I couldn't tell them at the time is we had plans. I mean, the truck was coming back, and really we're very excited about what the form that it has come back in. And honestly, this is a really, I'm just going to step back a little, I'm sorry, Nick, I'm going to digress a little. At the time, a lot of the discussion was, and I'm going to hit maybe the question on the head that someone's going to ask me later, 300 series Landcruiser, why don't we have it? And the discussion that I had sort of last year was really, we have Sequoia, and historically Sequoia was a different truck. But if you look for the US market, this now has everything that is Landcruiser as its foundations, as its capabilities, its platform, but it's sized for the US market. But not everyone wants a full-size SUV. And that's why this truck here is a really exciting, like we say, we've brought Landcruiser back to its enthusiasts. I mean, Landcruiser, frankly, became somewhat unattainable for many people. And so how do we actually bring the truck back to what Landcruiser always has been? And that's really what this truck represents here. And honestly, not just in design, but also capability. We're super excited to see this come back to the people that use it, love it, and know what Landcruiser really is and should be.
So I know so this is the 1958, and we know that this is the round lights.
Oh, no. This is special.
Oh. So tell me.
So this here, what we're looking at here is the first edition.
Oh, okay. So I thought first edition only had the squares. Oh, okay, please, go right ahead.
There we go. So Nick just opened, so don't let me lose you here, people. But, okay, so the grade strategy for Landcruiser is deliberately simple. But basically, the grade is Landcruiser. We have a lower grade or entry grade, which we call the 1958. Really a nod to the first time Landcruiser was in the US. But when we launch the truck, the first 5,000 trucks we're going to build are going to be a mashup of the two of those. So we're going to take our Landcruiser grade, which has got all the spec, it's got all the amenity, all the interior and the like. We have the colours, so the unit combinations on here. We have things like the rack, which will be standard on that. But we add some cool elements, like the round headlamps are actually the 1958 grade. But we can put those headlamps to mash it up and actually say that this truck here, first 5,000 trucks, unique interior, will actually be this combination of these two. So this makes it a bit of a unique one. And honestly, this is the first time this truck's been in public. So it's a bit special. You're actually seeing something here that a lot of our journalists haven't seen. This is the first edition truck that we have here.
So let's start with those lines. Why did the design studio just have a big fight and decide, screw it, we'll just do two different headlight designs because they couldn't decide? Like, why around and then why square?
Okay, so I'm going to say I'm really excited the fact that however it came about, we ended up with two headlamps because I love FJ40, I love 70 series Landcruisers, and then at the same time, the original designs, when I saw the very first concept sketch that's created of this, I go, this is either a 62 or an 80. I mean, those headlamps are just awesome. And so I go, I love that. Probably my favourite. I know it's 62 or 80 series, but I love such an iconic design. Yet you've got the round headlamp. I go, damn, I can't choose between these two. So but we've got both. And the really neat thing is, they're somewhat interchangeable. So if someone says, like, I really love those headlamps, you'll notice a lot of modularity around this truck. It's about how you can build it, how you modify it, even in the design cut lines and the like, but even the headlamps. And someone's probably going to shoot me into this, but I think there is an interchangeability in these. They're easy to switch in and out. You'll notice that the outline of this is actually very similar. So it's a little unusual to end up with two, but also making sure that we can really appeal to, this is a global truck. I mean, this is a truck that lives all around the world in all environments. And how do we make sure we appeal to that?
So give us some more of the specs, because if somebody missed the announcement, so it's a 2.4 turbo hybrid between it and the 8-speed automatic.
Exactly. That's right.
Factory rear locker,
Right.
Factory locking center diff,
Right.
sway bar disconnect front. What else am I missing?
Yeah, no, that was pretty solid. That's really good. But no, you're exactly right. The choice of powertrain on this was really important for us. To go standard with this one-motor hybrid system, and for people that have seen the system either in a Tundra or actually in a Sequoia, this is really a unique hybrid system which lets the truck drive like a normal truck. So basically you've got a regular gas engine, you've got an 8-speed automatic, but in all of those dips in the normal power curve, we just go and inject a whole bunch of torque from an electric motor. So it drives like a regular truck, but in all those cases either where it's at low RPM. So when really so much in this environment here, when you've got the truck loaded up, you've got tyres, you've got something on the roof, you're pulling up a pass. It's not about how quick you can drag race, it's about how much torque you've got to be able to pull it. This is a really neat match for it. So the core powertrain, and even so the truck over here, the Tacoma, so that's the 2.4 turbo that's there. That powertrain is awesome. I've driven a bunch of those. I mean, it's smooth, it's strong, it's really high torque, low down, just a great drivable truck. You grab this, you go and add the one motor hybrid system to it. I mean, this truck here has more than 60 pound-feet of torque more than the previous 5.7 V8. So in terms of context and usability, you've got torque, you've got it everywhere. It really fits very neatly for a truck, which is about wheeling, it's about carrying things, it's about doing it confidently. So I'm really excited about sort of the neat match for that powertrain.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So maybe we can make some news here. What are some other modularity features in this vehicle?
So I think what you'll notice is even just by design, even if they're not designed to be sort of like pull in, pull out or whatever it may be, but even just by design, typically a lot of vehicles are designed with a lot of I guess form in them, things like that. And all of a sudden you say, I want to put a bar on this thing, it's really difficult to find a natural cut line or something like that. So really finding part of it plays with the blocky nature of the design, but even the interchangeability to be able to pull some of these parts out and modify them and adjust them later is certainly something that's in the truck as well.
My friends and I were actually having a debate the other day, and they were saying, well, this is the first time that, no, I guess it's more in line with how Land Cruiser used to be priced. You're finally going back to how it used to be. And I said, actually, guys, that's not true. I had a 96 actually bought in Denver. I live in Oregon, so I flew out and drove it back. But I still had the window sticker in it. It was a XCJ80, and it had stickered out at $54,000 and 96. And with adjust for inflation, that's about $83,000 today. So the Land Cruiser always, probably since the 60 series, has been a rich man's car. Right? So now to bring it into the mid-50s, you are making it a lot more accessible. Why? Why now? Why 2 years ago it was $87,000? Why now make it accessible?
So look, I mean, frankly, from my point of view, it almost makes it unattainable, becomes irrelevant. And I think the whole point of this truck is the capability needs to be used by the people that need it and can use it. And so I think the whole thing of actually bringing to this enthusiast space, and this is part of the whole picture, as we come back to how do we embrace this world, this enthusiast world, saying that I need a truck that can actually enable this lifestyle. I say, I want to go overlanding, I want to go wheeling, I want to do these things. We need to bring the truck back to people like that. So it's a big deal to reposition that. But I mean, the whole point is, it's not relevant to have the truck if people don't use the truck. And I think that's where, bringing this back here, this is why it's really unusual. When we launch a new vehicle, we never talk price. It was really important for people to realise that this is not the truck that it used to be. This is a truck which is now made to be accessible to many more people.
Are there, I know we can't really see the interior from where we're standing, but there are interior features we want to talk about?
So really, a lot of the interior is really designed around functionality. I mean, everything about Land Cruiser, it's got to be solid, it's got to be confident, it's got to be reliable. So all of that's protected, but everything needs to have a purpose. Everything needs to have a function. So I think a lot of this is not about having flashy design, but it's about having very solid, intentional design. And you'll see it even in terms of the multimedia system. So 12.3-inch screen. Honestly, the thing I love most about these big screens, whether it's from the Tundra, whether it's here, is a lot of being able to use a lot of the off-road cameras. So a lot of the multi-terrain monitor, things like that, using the front camera, side cameras. When you've got a good size, high resolution screen, you can really start to use that. And I think it fits well, but it's also super functional within the truck.
Well, I can't wait. We were talking offline. I think I'm going to get a 1958 edition. I own an FJ80 in '92, and I feel like that one, despite the brown headlights, really reminds me the most of that truck. And that's what I always yearned for, like the 2024 version of my FJ80. I think this is it. So, yeah, this is very exciting.